finally reacting to a Everything Wrong video. It's named Galaxy Quest.
His hair is hilarious. 2 Coke product placements in one shot. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's 3, but I can't 100% ID that empty bottle next to Tony Shalhoub. So the official count has to stand at 2, which is still too many per shot. Also, this is a shitty-ass green room. These are the stars of a show supposedly as popular as Star Trek, and the conventions would be just as popular. And they literally have them in a storage room with some mirrors. The guest stripper, your local Deja Vu, has a nicer green room than this.
How did I come to this?
The bigger question is, why does everyone have to wear the show's costumes? And why does Alexander have to be in full makeup? I've been to Star Trek conventions, which is probably a sin for me. But my point is, when Michael Dorn comes out to speak, he's just Michael Dorn in a sweater and jeans. He's not getting dressed up as Worf.
I mean, my TV Guide interview was 6 paragraphs about my boobs and how they fit into my suit.
Look, I have no doubt TV Guide focused on her boobs for the interview, but there ain't no goddamn way they spent 6 paragraphs on them. TV Guide is the definition of editing, trimming, and snippets. It's the Reader's Digest for TV lovers. They could interview Dolly Parton and they wouldn't spend 6 fucking paragraphs on her boobs. Exaggeration called, and it wants you to reread the definition of exaggeration.
They really do love him.
Yeah, almost as much as he loves himself.
The fans here at your table can hear everything you were saying.
No, the commander and I never had a thing.
And this question was conveniently asked when the commander just happened to be wandering by, so I will be more than happy to conveniently sin it, because Sins and I, we do have a thing.
We need your help. Is this about the gig tomorrow?
Why would Jason think this had anything to do with the gig? Do people that have hired him often show up out of the blue at another appearance and hound him with concerns about their planet's well-being?
He has no idea he's a laughingstock.
This is terrific timing for him to be in this stall when no one knows he's there, and the dickheads come in bashing him. But also, this cannot be the first time he's heard of people thinking he's a joke. It's played as a devastating piece of news, but this is a guy that would read every article about him, newspaper or tabloid, and nothing like this would surprise him. It's actually a pretty important plot point in the film that he's so upset by this, so I'm sending it twice. But also, there's no way the fictional Star Trek convention would have the fictional William Shatner using the same bathrooms as the convention attendees. This dude has his own private bathroom in his convention rider, and you know...
An ad. But while this is going, you know that that kind of did actually happen. Shatner overheard some fans.
I promised my therapist no bodyguard.
So, no reason to jump cut this because what I just said.
These people all in line here, they surely already paid for the autographs, so him storming off creates a refund headache for the guy running this convention. This movie has never convention before. Let's pour one out for Suncoast, the Spencer's Gifts of movie stores. The sin is for how expensive that was. I get living in the Hollywood Hills for the prestige, the view, and the panache, but I do not get living in an all-glass house where anyone with a decent telescope can see whatever you do, watching yourself on television.
Maybe I should get some pants on.
And maybe never answer the door with no pants on.
Sir, I am Lank, Senior Requisition Officer.
Discount rate with holy
Coca-Cola, do you have one of those?
This movie is so far up Coke's ass, it could kiss itself with Coke's lips.
Would you like to don your uniform?
You know what, I'd like to skip that.
But considering Jason is assuming this is the gig he agreed to and is being paid for, why is he being so dickish to Mathesar and company? I get that he's supposed to be a bit of an asshole, but based on what we've seen so far, he seems for the most part professional.
I got this gig in Van Nuys in about a quarter of an hour.
You literally cannot drive anywhere in LA in 15 minutes.
They bring a new commander. That's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's Stan Winston, you twit.
Yep.
If Sarah survived.
And he does, which brings up this question. Why isn't he returning fire currently? Or at the very least issuing some threats that would have come to Jason's attention?
You have saved our people.
Premature celebration. This is an awesome scene where he sees space and realizes this has all been real. Why does the return him home transporter platform have to raise him up to the exterior of the ship's hull? In a few minutes, they will transport the entire cast of the old show to this ship, and they'll appear inside the ship, not on the hull. So this is all so he can realize it's real, and I feel like there are better ways to do that. Look, I don't know the exact distance between the ship's orbit and Jason's home, but we can't even see Earth when he leaves the ship. So looking really far seems like a safe estimate. No matter what kind of engine this human condom thing around Jason has on it, I'm not buying he could get back to his house and then over to the electronics store before the rest of the team was done with their appearance. He even said before his encounter with Ceres that the other gig was in 15 minutes. Not to mention, I'm guessing he would need a week of intense therapy and drugs to even begin to process what happened to him. But he's just ready for another mission right away. And yes, I understand this movie isn't bothering itself with details like time travel and traumatic stress disorders, but if you don't think I'm sinning this, then that's on you. This is one of the strangest movie sets of all time. This is clearly a factory. They decided to present it as an electronics store in a mall, opening directly next to a thin strip of underground parking next to a huge open parking lot. I cannot for the life of me figure out why they couldn't find a location that looked like an electronics store to film this. Like, say, a real electronics store. They get mad at Tim Allen for not being there, but they clearly had a script ready to go that both mentioned this specific tech superstore and did not contain any lines for Tim Allen's character. These kids literally bump into him in the parking lot of the tech superstore opening? What are these Galaxy Quest fan kids doing here right now? Was there a news release about the Quest actors being at the grand opening? And if so, why are superfan nerds like this showing up late to it? Also, is Jason really not going to check if he has the correct communicator? That would seem pretty important to his immediate plans to convince the rest of the cast of his adventures this morning. Why the f*** is Guy even here? He was the MC at the convention thing yesterday. Today, the cast has a tech store grand opening, which Guy would not have been invited to. Is he stalking the cast like the kids are? She requested
Not
5
really,
pods, but for some reason Tech Sergeant Chen's pod doesn't appear under him because he's using the microwave? Anyway, he shows up later than everyone because reasons. How do you greet the humans duty and forget your fucking appearance generators? You had one job!
We have modeled every aspect of our society from your example, and it has saved us.
Has it? Your home planet is destroyed and your species is on the brink of extinction. Do you check the facts much, mate? Somehow this scene of them seeing the starship is every bit as thrilling as any Star Trek movie scene of seeing a new starship. This movie has the perfect balance of adoration and mockery.
The main
One
barracks.
center move.
Jesus, that's a large room. Wouldn't it be easier to build multiple barracks than one room that is the length of Rhode Island?
They designed those controls after watching you.
This is honestly the most ridiculous thing in the entire film. Dude was a child when he was on the show. His movements were certainly spontaneous, erratic, and not repeatable. Somehow this alien civilization designed all the controls around that childlike behavior? Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the ticks.
Another sin
This is
removed.
fast food preparations. Instead, I'm sinning the fact
'Cause it's
that
hilarious.
our modern society still doesn't yet have food replicators. I'm also sinning the fact that this dude's makeup job has lasted this long. I know it falls apart later, but it should have fallen apart sooner. And that's a testament to a good makeup job. And I hate good makeup job. Wait,
You heard about the device, the Omega 13.
What is it? What does it do?
We don't know.
not to harp on this too much, but if no one actually knows what it's supposed to do, how could Mathazar and company have not only built the Omega 13, but given it the power source to actually achieve its goal?
I am sorry, you deserve to be shown.
They do, but maybe not at mealtime, no. Also, I have it queued up and ready to play right now, even though I had no intention of bringing this up in the mess hall, and I haven't told anyone to actually play it. It's a magical tape. This leads to a funny scene, but it bothers me a great deal. The gesture in question is not commonly used to denote we're dead, as she later says she understood it to mean. It's pretty universally a kill the signal gesture.
I'm going as fast as I can, Jason!
How exactly would Tommy know he's going as fast as he can? I'm not even calling down to Chen to see if he's giving it all he's got. Also, does Mathazar not find it odd they're calling each other by their real names and not the names from the historical documents? They may not understand lying, but they're also a very intelligent species. I'm having a hard time buying he wouldn't at least question this.
Press turbo! I've always said press the turbo, right?
Falling ass backwards into success. The Protector survives this, and if you want to have the ship hit a lot of mines, fine, but not all the a lot of mines.
And there's another. There's an okay, but I will also say this: that scene where it was scraping, you know, that's a hilarious scene.
It is a hilarious scene.
Yeah. You know, at least instead of jump cuts, they're talking about something. But
Tommy broke his arm, and there were
We're back now.
explosions everywhere, and surely some Thermians died during that battle, no?
I mean, surely you don't think that Gilligan's Island is a...
Those poor people.
So they have watched every goddamn television show that has ever aired, and if that's so, then how have they not been confused when the same person shows up in multiple historical documents as different characters? Do they think that after Arthur Carlson left his job at WKRP in Cincinnati, he moved to New York, changed his name to Mr. Horton, and had Dudley and Arnold over to watch animated porn with him?
oh god,
You know, there's a famous moment later in the movie when a character says one word, but the audio is another word completely. But here Alexander says, "Oh, brother," without even moving his lips, and no one ever talks about that.
Hey, Commander. Listen,
Can you broadcast from engineering into the ready room without being announced or a phone ringing or something? He just starts talking. What if they were in the middle of an argument? So they reconfigure the solar matrix for endothermic propulsion, and they have traveled to a new planet for more beryllium. But what I want to know is, why is Ceres just waiting on the other side of a minefield? Space is fucking big, man. Go around that. That minefield cannot be infinite.
I changed my mind.
yeah.
What the fuss you made about getting left behind?
What fuss? Oh, you mean whatever deleted scene you shot and left on the cutting room floor where he made a fuss about not wanting to be left behind for this mission? Because we never saw that.
Nobody knows. You know why? because my character isn't important enough for a last name, because I'm gonna die 5 minutes in.
Since when does not having a last name determine whether or not you will die in a movie? What about Gilligan, Newman, Quincy, Penny, Castiel, and Spock? It looks cool, but why does this shuttle have to spin in circles while landing?
It's an alien planet. Is there air? You don't know.
Guy would be galactic at CinemaSins.
Yeah. They have that joke.
Seems okay.
I would give all the sins back if here in a few minutes they all collapse and started choking, because there's no way just a couple breaths can tell you the air is fine for humans. The rest of this planet must be pretty fucking green if there's breathable air on this bitch. Photosynthesis isn't a joke. Penis rock.
You know, that makeup and stuff, I actually thought you were
course.
smart for a second.
I'm continuing to wonder how long that makeup can even hold up for Alexander, especially in this blazing sun they are currently walking under. At the very least, it wouldn't still look this pristine. Even in the best conditions, that would need to have touch-ups throughout the day.
Get a signal. Okay, I'll do my hands like this. Call. We're an infant. Look, we have these.
Then why did Jason ask Tommy to give a signal? Why didn't he just say, holler at us on the comms? Fred has been carrying this greasy paper sack since they got off the shuttle, and now it's in his mouth, and no one ever mentions it. The aliens show up before they roll the sphere more than 10 feet, but somehow they do a flea flicker end-around Statue of Liberty play to still evade the little minor miners. Alexander and Jason argue here for no reason, instead of both getting into the shuttle, leaving Jason on the planet to face the minor miners.
The digital conveyor?
Yeah.
You mean have to be diced into cubes and sit up there in a million pieces?
Why don't they use the transportation pods they have used both times they brought him to the Protector from Earth? This movie invents an entirely separate transporter system at a crucial moment because it needs tension, and that's cheating. Just do the gooey tube again.
It was built to accommodate your anatomy, not ours.
Okay, assface, this is bullshit. The historical documents you watched to build this ship and your way of life definitely never gave you the full scope of human anatomy. But also, and much more importantly, you built this ship for Thermians. Based it on the humans in the show, but you are all Thermians. The digital conveyor built to accommodate human anatomy would be useless to Thermians.
It was designed watching his motions from the historical documents.
Here's another huge leap, because whatever Fred was doing as an actor to control this device on the show was clearly made up and different every time. His ass definitely doesn't remember what he did, and he doesn't even get a chance to practice like Tommy does later.
Their walls may be thin, but at least their internet.
Never had, because here's another thing. Like, this movie kind of references and gives nods to stuff in Star Trek, obviously. Even the rock monster, because remember, that was originally going to be in the fifth film.
Jason survives this. Fred zips up his uniform confidently
Jason
while
survives it.
behind
Well,
him has
yeah.
not zipped up her uniform for any reason since arriving here. And I know she was forced to show cleavage on the show, and therefore at the conventions, but now that she's in space around mostly Thermian aliens, she doesn't need to keep doing it, does she? If she wants to, that's different. Just delete this sin and avoid the controversy of just cause. But you get my point.
Balthazar! Willie! So why can't we reach them?
So, when they replicated everything from the Galaxy Quest TV series, did they not replicate any ship alarms? Shouldn't everyone already be aware that Saris and his crew boarded?
Prepare a tale, Highness. For the female.
How would Saris know Gwen is a female? When would Saris have had the opportunity to study human anatomy?
You have all done far greater
course
damage
you
than
do.
I ever could have.
They have not.
Balthazar, there's no such person as Captain Taggart. My name is Jason Nesmith. I am an actor.
Which is a name Balthazar would know as well, because it's listed in the opening credits of the historical documents he's watched countless times. It's more surprising Balthazar didn't ask Jason why he had two names.
Explain as you would a child.
Thing I said to my college girlfriend after her 3 more subtle breakup speeches had failed to help me understand what was happening.
God, I am so sorry.
The movie acts like Jason should be sorry that the Thermians based their society on
No, it is a
Galaxy
touching
Quest law,
scene,
when
and
all he really
emotional
needs to be
part.
sorry about is not stating that truth once he first came on board. The misunderstanding and society building is all in the dumbass Thermians, obviously.
Core implosion estimated in 9 minutes.
This will take longer than 9 minutes.
Where's the happy ending, Jason?
If you get back to Van Nuys, you could probably find one pretty easy. If you happen to venture into Madame Susie's, I recommend Tina. She has 6 fingers on one hand. Feels weird at first, but then, wait, what are we talking about?
You're starting to act like you did in episode 17. You scene-stealing hack.
Alexander actually gets this reference, and it's amazing that all these actors remember every single detail from every episode back in the early 80s. I can't even remember if we've seen the Thomas Crown Affair, but you do you, super memory actors.
Sorry, the door's a little sticky. Did you see that? I'll get one of my boys up here in the can of WD-40.
Seems like an odd time to make jokes and small talk. You know in less than 9 minutes the ship's going to explode.
I'm pretty sure you don't know how to shut down a neutron reactor either.
No, I don't.
I've heard that before.
I know someone who does.
I quite enjoyed
BD-40.
this part of the movie and the inclusion of Justin Long and his conventioning pals, but this is still 20 minutes worth of this works.
Hello?
But how would Jason have heard that hello? Brandon wasn't pressing the button on his Vox.
You know, I'm gonna get Kyle. He knows the utility tunnel system better than anybody alive.
Super convenient that all these Galaxy Quest geeks are online at the same time, all have a solid connection, and none have decided to attend day 2 of the convention the entire movie ends with, which is a long way of saying, bull. How many shots like this would even be in the show? Who would want to watch this? The odds of this dead body hitting the main windshield on Ceres' ship, 32 million to 1.
There will be a slight drop.
This movie definitely saw sneakers.
They're dying.
How are they not already dead?
Myself and others are
Well.
convinced that what it is a matter of rearranger, affecting a 13-second time jump to the past.
And while they have no realistic way to come to this conclusion, they are 100% right. And because Jason randomly chose to ask Brandon the question, he will be able to save everyone worth saving at the end of the movie. Got it? Good.
Well, screw that!
What we dubbed this? Most hilarious
course I
ADR
gotta
ever?
mention that.
Worst ADR ever? Most studio bows to NBA bull ever? I feel like all those work. That snakehead alien is really giving me some Lonely Among Us vibes. And if you're going to remind me of that bull, I'm
Yeah.
going to remind you I can sing.
Yeah, but
they survived
she-
the chompers, and that's worth 10 cents.
I know you
Okay.
probably haven't.
Perfect
traveled in
time.
a
Thank
while,
you, because,
but
like,
don't
you know
worry.
what? And she didn't say screw that, and she originally said, well, F
You can
that.
save 20% or more on thousands of hotels now through June 12th.
What do you think? Like,
Expedia, the
screw that
matters
was
you
better,
travel
I
with,
guess?
limited availability,
Probably.
blackout dates
Yeah.
apply.
Guy has his shirt unzipped lower than any female in this movie. And that is desperation in
Perfect
clothing form.
timing
Let
there.
it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore.
He has
Frozen.
saved us. Commander Taggart has saved us.
I realize this movie wants to needle Alexander all it can, and this is hilarious. But these Thermians are simple enough, they would give credit here to Alex, not Jason. This is just screenwriting for laughs. This Thermian's death is really took. This guy is
Nah.
sticking with his gun over 2 minutes later.
Can you guys
That
closer
was
to these
emotional,
lines?
too.
Closer.
I'm more curious how Tommy can steer clear of the mines while looking at Jason instead of the view screen.
Howard
Yeah.
The actors are going to play war with me.
As good a time as any to mention that this movie is The Three Amigos or A Bug's Life, but in space.
And what you fail to realize is my ship is dragging mines.
This is a really cool bit of spaceship chess, but why did the mines go for Ceres' ship instead of following the ship they were originally magnetized to?
Well, they were following the ship, but like, you know,
For the second time in this film, premature
Long story.
celebration. God, Star Trek basically invented premature celebration. We know that these aren't steps that will last. Somehow this will get reversed, so there's zero tension in this sequence of events. First, there is no way this is 13 seconds. Ceres was shooting at the crew 1 minute ago. Second, even if this is when that would send Jason back in time, how does the device know who to send back in time? Why is who presses the button any more relevant than any of the other people within the Omega-13's radius? This is just like Star Trek 4 when the 80s scientist lady came back into the future with Kirk. Only grosser, because here the lady's an alien octopus with drippy legs. Everyone on the ship survives this, and no one in the convention center they crash into is killed. And that's some fucking bullshit. Even if I don't say
Yeah.
that they crash into a convention center they're supposed to be attending, I can't get past the fact that all the cast comes out in the exact order they would be announced at the con. Half the fucking building has been destroyed here, and these fans still think this is all part of the planned convention show. You've been an ass to her for many years prior to this, and you almost got her and some of her friends murdered by warlord aliens, but yeah, why wouldn't you want to fuck you?
116 sentence.
The 9000 series is the most reliable computer ever made.
You are
The bloopers.
first people to see the Lost Galaxy Quest
You know.
episode 92 two-parter since it was originally aired in 1982.
That doesn't make sense.
I don't even know what this is from. This.
As long as there's a
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh,
Wherever
okay.
there is suffering, we'll be there.
What's the shoe? I've seen it anywhere.
No, Jason, that's a wrap. There's nothing to think about.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Thrust ahead. Fire at will. You relax.
Can you see that? Okay.
Do you know the Klingon proverb
I know I heard that.
tells us revenge is a dish that is best served cold?
very cold in space.
Of course, you got to do that too. Something Star Trek. That was pretty good, don't you think?
That was pretty good.
And it was the first Everything, but you know, from CinemaSins / Everything Wrong video that we've reacted to.
Yep, I like those.
Yeah. Now, jump cut. Hey guys, so as I said, you know, we have finally reacted to an Everything Wrong / CinemaSins video, and you said you enjoyed those, right?
I do enjoy them. They're funny.
Now, I showed before this a while back, and this was actually during when we went to, you know, comic and toy convention. I was showing Little Blue the Everything Wrong with videos. The first ones I showed, and it was the obvious choice, and because, you know, I've got the shirt on, I started with the Star Trek, the Star Trek ones,
Yeah,
and then did 2 TV, because they also do TV sins, and I played them. I played the one, the man. What's that called? The Man Trap.
yes.
Yeah, from the Star Trek the original series and the Twilight Zone episode, Nightmare at 20,000 Feet.
Right.
So now he's seen a lot of them, and now, of course, we've finally reacted to one, which being Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, it was, and I saw Galaxy Quest. I've seen it 2 or 3 times. It's a good movie.
Yeah, and all these videos, Everything Wrong, they're just for, it's obvious they're just for laughs. You know?
Well, of course they are. And the things that he points out, they really are things that are wrong with the movies. I mean, things that they get wrong. There's things wrong in every movie that's ever been made. There's no such thing as a perfect movie.
No.
There's sometimes there's bad edits. Sometimes things are, you know.
I gotta show you. We might probably do a reaction to this too. They did Jaws.
Oh yeah. Jaws would be a good one to watch.
They did do that, and I think we should react to that soon.
I think we should too.
Yeah. So what were you saying about Galaxy Quest and?
Well, I mean,
and Everything Wrong.
There were things wrong in Galaxy Quest, but you don't sit and pick things apart. You know, we're not critics. We're not paid to be critics. We watch movies because we enjoy them.
And yet, mostly me, like I review movies and stuff on YouTube. So
it's fun to watch movies that are. Yeah, we review them, but we're not overly critical usually.
No.
That's
right.
What was the movie that I declined? Oh yeah, Batman and
Robin.
I declined to be in on because
we will review. No, we will review that soon. Believe me, guys.
I really didn't want to rip it apart, but if I'm forced to do it, I'm going to rip it apart.
So, you know, it's no problem.
So, but this I enjoy because it's nitpicky, but it's done in a very fun and loving way.
At least Batman Robin would be the least one we can do together, so.
Oh, don't get me started on Batman. Don't get.
You said Batman Robin.
Right, Batman and Robin.
I thought you said Batman Forever. Which one did you say?
Batman and Robin.
Okay, so I'm talking about Batman and Robin. So, you know.
Right.
Anyways, so, and with Galaxy Quest, like even the stuff that they point out and when they removed sins, like especially one part where it's scraping, you know?
Yes.
The ship. Remember you telling me this story that, you know, you cracked up the first time.
I absolutely cracked up.
You and my uncle, like.
Yeah, you and your Uncle Scott. We were totally cracking up at that scene. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, and the look on their faces, the look on their faces is obvious.
It makes a horrible sound.
Oh yeah, it does.
It scrapes the whole side of the ship.
It's a loud scrape,
yeah. It is. It's a very sickening sound, too.
I know.
As you know, the paint job's just coming right off that
exactly,
thing.
Yeah.
It's getting peeled like an onion.
It's almost like, say, you know, well, hey, even like the 2009 Star Trek film kind of did that just a little bit. Like, part of the nacelles were kind of just a bit scraped, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But also, I don't know if you remember this, even the J.J. Abrams and the others, they admitted this. They said it themselves in the commentary that scene where Kirk and Sulu, they're falling and they don't have a parachute.
Yeah.
And Chekhov comes in the transport room.
Right.
That is a whole nod and I guess homage to in Galaxy Quest and with, you know, Jason being transported or something, you know, the whole thing with the rock monster.
Exactly.
You know what it is.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. So, see, yeah, I think even J.J. Abrams said this. I think, yeah, this did come from J.J. Abrams in the commentary that like he said that, you know, our favorite Star Trek film is Galaxy Quest. You know what? Even Galaxy Quest, I think, even made it into like the top favorite Trek films or whatever. But even though it's not a Trek movie, you know,
right?
It is a parody of Star Trek and such, but it's its own thing, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, even the actors from Star Trek, like, you know, from Jonathan Frakes, George Takei, and I think, you know, Patrick Stewart, Brent Spiner, Will Wheaton, you know, because they enjoyed Galaxy Quest. And if you may know, did you know, because there is a documentary of the making of Galaxy Quest?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And, you know, some of the actors, some of the Star Trek actors, Brent Spiner, like, I can only remember Brent Spiner being in there, and Will Wheaton. They were in it and, like, talking about Galaxy Quest. And even, like, say, because, you know, of course, you know, it had to be in the it's in the documentary, you know, tribute and talking about, you know, Alan Rickman, you know.
Right.
And the last time that some of the actors of Galaxy Quest, the last time they saw him, you know. And, you know, because there were plans for a sequel to the film, but, you know, that didn't come to me. That didn't come to be because after Rickman had passed away.
Yeah.
But, you know what? I think, you know what, there could, because, okay, here's the thing. I think there could still be a chance that a sequel could happen, because, hey, Alan Rickman's character, Dr. Lazarus, is supposed to be like, say, the Mr. Spock, you know?
Right.
So, you know, hey, because Leonard Nimoy, he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you think of it, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that.
I agree.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I mean, overall, because with the Cinema Sins videos, everything wrong, because they are for laughs, but yet you said, because, you know, they still, you know, they still point, because the stuff they point out of stuff that's wrong or something in the film, you know, as you said.
Yes, they do, and it's done in a loving teasing way,
and in a funny way, I guess.
Yes.
As I said, these are for laughs, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've reacted to the everything wrong with Galaxy Quest. We're probably going to react to more of these, don't you think?
I'd say so.
Okay, we've already done the Star Trek ones, as I just said. Oh yeah, I think that's right. I even showed you the Indiana Jones ones.
Yes.
Did I did Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Did I do Raiders yet? Did I show you? Did I show you Raiders?
You did do Raiders, yes.
Okay. So I even said that we haven't seen this yet, and I think we should save this for a reaction. Do Everything Wrong with Jaws.
I agree.
And they did, of course, Star Wars.
Yes.
And you know what? Because when they did with Everything Wrong with A New Hope, Kevin Smith guest stars in that. Now that is something, you know.
That'd be good.
That'd be worth reacting to.
I agree.
Yeah. So okay. So I think it's settled. Like, you know, we will probably do reactions to Everything Wrong with Jaws and Everything Wrong with Star Wars. Do you think?
I agree.
So that sounds pretty good. And what about you guys? And you guys let us know what you think. You know, hey, if you enjoy the Cinema Sin videos, Everything Wrong, and if you're anxious and wanting us to do more reactions to Everything Wrong, etc., as I said, we plan to do Jaws and Star Wars, so stay tuned for those. So, any last words?
I must be off.
Yep. He says that, and again, it was good, right? You know?
It was good.
Yep. So, again, Little Blue says I must be off, and we enjoyed it. And for me, we hope you enjoyed our reaction to Everything Wrong with Galaxy Quest. As I said, reactions to more Everything Wrong / Cinema Sin videos are on the way. Up next will be Jaws and Star Wars. And until then, more reactions on your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward. And we'll see you guys in the next video / reaction video. Take care. Peace out. And never give up, never surrender.